This is the moment. This is the hour. The heavens are open, releasing their power. Visions are rising, dreams come alive. The Spirit is speaking, it's prophetic time. Oh, it's prophetic time. The trumpet is sounding, the voice of the Spirit is shaking the ground. Destiny's calling, the kingdom is shining. We move by the word, it's prophetic time. Shines in the heavens, signs in the earth. A new generation awaken to birth. Destiny's calling, the kingdom is shining. We move by the word, it's prophetic time. It's prophetic time. The trumpet is sounding, the voice of the Spirit is shaking the ground. Destiny's calling, the kingdom is shining. We move by the word, it's prophetic time. Prophetic time. Dreamers rise, the future is now. Seers proclaim the word and the sound. Whoa, watchmen cry out, His glory we find. This is the moment, prophetic time. This is the moment, prophetic time. This is the hour, prophetic time. Dreams is the moment, prophetic time. This is the hour, prophetic time.
Well, hello, good night, everybody, and welcome to Prophetic Time. I'm your host, Apostle Dr. J. Caprietta. Good to see you guys on here tonight. Many blessings to you all. I want to just greet the first, second, third folks that jumped on here tonight. We've got KT, blessings to you. KT coming on first here tonight. Then we've got Michelle. Hey, Michelle. and Tim French. Good to see you on here tonight. And then third, we've got Debbie Reinhardt. Good to see you, Debbie. Blessings to you. And who do we have over there on YouTube? We've got Joanne over on YouTube. Blessings to you, Joanne. And if you're on YouTube, just go ahead and say hi in the comments over there on YouTube. All right. Well, tonight, got quite a program for you. It's called Lockdown 2.0. Lockdown 2.0. What a program. I don't even know where to start. But, I thought maybe I should just start by playing a couple videos that is not necessarily yet. It has something to do with our current, state of affairs in this country. But I think it's important for everybody to just hear this because, last year, September the 10th, everything changed in our movement. If you're a part of the conservative movement, you've been a part of it. You would say that a lot has changed, and a lot of people's eyes have been opened up to a lot of things that they never really thought of before. And so we're last year, September the 10th, Charlie Kirk was brutally killed in public in front of a bunch of people. And one of the things that I started to discover with him, because I followed him for a while. My son followed him for many years and even worked for TPUSA on a couple of occasions. Folks, when this happened, I sat there. I remember I was just at home and I was just like, my mind was just so blown. And it took me out that day. That day I was just kind of out of it, really. And I started to pay attention to some of the things that he was saying prior to his death. And when I started to kind of take stock of what he was saying, it kind of blew my mind, because it's almost like he already knew what was coming. And if you pay attention to what he was saying, he was speaking a lot of truth, because that's who he is to the core. He is a truther. Now, he was a part of the conservative movement and all the structures in it, innocently being a part of all of the structures within it. But as time went by, he started to really grow because he's very intelligent. He was a very intelligent young man, and he started to see things, and he started to recognize certain patterns and things that he could no longer dismiss. And I want to play a couple of the videos for you, just so that you can hear my beloved late friend Charlie Kirk speak.
The way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite.
It's been so unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith isn't allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. My moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions, not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this.
It's like there's some rule you can't go there when it comes to Israel.
Well, you and I believe that we're Americans and Americans first, period. End of story. We are citizens of this nation, okay?
That's right.
Israel, we have funded, we have supported. I host a person that I moderate the debate of, mind you, right? And I give equal time to Josh Hammer, equal time to a pro-Israel advocate, and my moral character is being put into question. And so I think it's a hyper paranoid, like we're just gonna try to, we're gonna just stamp out everything type of practice. But it goes to the point where, if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government about backlash than actual Israelis do.
So you can see that he was under a lot of pressure. And Charlie was the type of guy that he loved Israel. At one point, he just bought into all of the Kool-Aid of Israel, right? They could do no wrong. But then he started to notice things that they were doing wrong. And then he started to notice that America first means America first, not America plus another country, right? And so he started to talk about that and define it, because when you put words together, right? Words have meaning. So if I say to you, I'm America first, then I mean that. It doesn't matter if I lived in Canada or Trinidad or wherever else. If I tell you that I am America first, it means that I'm America over Trinidad and I'm America over Canada. Right? That's what America first means. And that is what Charlie got to. He got to the place where he was defining the words, the meaning behind it, behind the movement, MAGA, make America great again, not make Israel great again. It was make America great again. And there's nothing wrong in what he was saying, except that he was taking money from some very wicked people that he didn't know how wicked they were. Okay? And he knew his life was threatened. He had dreams about it. He had dreams about him getting killed, okay, getting murdered. And he knew the people that were going to murder him. And it's not Tyler either, right? He didn't say some guy named Tyler, some leftist lunatic is going to come and murder him. That's not what he said. Okay. And so anyway, let's take a look at this other video here of Charlie.
I still have the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Right, the whole country is surveilled, and so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? But I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is. Gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Yep. I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right.
Now, you see how intelligent this young man was. What he was basically saying is that over there in Israel, the October 7th situation that so many people have no clue about, never really sat down and really studied it, what happened on October 7th. Okay? Charlie Kirk sat down and he thought through the entire thing about what happened on October 7th over there in Israel. Israel is the size of New Jersey. What that means is exactly what he said. He said from Jerusalem, which is more, I believe, on the northern side of, it's on the other end of where Tel Aviv is, basically. In order to get from Jerusalem over to Gaza, the strip at Gaza was 45 minutes. Now, even if you were driving from Jerusalem, one side of Israel, to Tel Aviv, the other side of Israel, that would be about a 50-minute drive. Okay, so Israel is really not that big. Okay, what he is saying is that for 6 hours on October the 7th, it was alleged that the Palestinians had murdered, they had raped, they had killed babies, they had killed Israeli soldiers, they had killed a whole bunch of Israelis within that 6 hour period. Now, what Charlie is saying is that if you go into Israel, you can't go without seeing an IDF soldier. You can't go a mile without seeing an IDF soldier because they're everywhere in Israel, right? In fact, he said that they're all IDF soldiers because when you reach the age of 18 years old, you must work for the IDF. You must go into the military, right? So basically, the majority of people, adults in Israel, are IDF soldiers. The majority of them, and many of them carry weapons, right? So what he's saying is that it doesn't make sense that for 6 hours, right, that 6 hour span, that so many things were allowed to happen or happened during that 6 hour period. And this is what he's saying. And so, and because he said this, they went after him. Because he was defining what really happened on October 7th. Because the way how it works with these folks over there is that whatever they say happened, that's what happened. And you have to believe it. You have to buy their story. But Charlie was saying it is almost impossible for 6 hours of just mass murder going on by Palestinians mass murdering Israelis for 6 hours. The only way that that could happen is if there was a stand down order by the Israelis. That means that they have told their soldiers, do not fight, do not act, do not shoot anybody, do not do anything, just take a beating. And the question would be, why would you tell your soldiers, do not fight the Palestinians, when they're murdering, allegedly murdering, allegedly raping, allegedly doing all kinds of evil acts against the Israelis? Why would the government tell them to stand down and take it? That is what Charlie was saying, right? Which makes absolutely zero sense. Makes zero sense. And so when you see, the problem is that when you have that type of, when you're that type of level, where Charlie, he had one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the United States of America, right? One of the largest, and that had the most employees as well in America. And they had some of the biggest donors, even when after he died, I think they're well over $1 billion since Charlie Kirk died, since last September. Well over $1 billion came in since then. So you're looking at a very large organization. And so when you have that type of power, see, when you're getting money from people that are really big in society, and you don't speak the language that they're trying to promote through you, if you flip the script on them and you start saying things that they don't want you to say, that's what happened to Charlie. He got himself into some trouble with the big donors that he was getting, and his good friend did warn him about it. She warned him about it, and it was to his demise. Anyway, so I think that second video there was very important so that you guys can kind of understand where we are today. Today, we have a situation in America where we're now going to war, or went to war with Iran, and this Iran war was not because the United States decided, hey guys, we need to go to war with Iran. No, this was something that Israel wanted, And Netanyahu said for 30 years, 30 plus years, he wanted the United States to partner with them to go to war against Iran. So this has been in the works for 30 plus years. So why are we at war? Well, you can't get a straight answer from anybody as to why we're at war with Iran. You just can't. But the Lord had revealed something to me months ago. Okay, a few months ago, when there was talks about the Epstein files coming out, the Lord revealed to me that we might not want the Epstein files to come out as a society. If we just want to chill, and just live life, because with the release of the Epstein file, the Lord showed me that war was going to happen, right? And I know that many of you guys probably remember me saying that. I've said it a lot after that. And exactly what I said happened. In fact, 2 days after the release of, I guess it was, I think it was a few days later after the release of the Epstein file, we went to war. And it's not going to stop there, because there's another portion of the files that is supposed to be released as well, that actually has to be released. And once that is released, and these files are not even supposed to be redacted. The only information that's supposed to be redacted is the victims, the names of the victims, the images, the faces of the victims. And of course, if there are children involved, little children, then you have to also protect the image as well. Because there's a lot of files that are just, not appropriate for anybody to watch, that are in these Epstein files. And the people that were involved in it, obviously they don't want their names to get out. And so you better believe that they would want to burn this whole country down, versus being exposed and their lives being destroyed completely. And this is what a lot of it entails. This is the reason behind a lot of stuff that you see. It could mean that there are other things at play. Yes, absolutely. Could it mean also that this could be an inroad for Agenda 2030, where Klaus Schwab talked about, back in 2021, 2022, he said, oh, if you guys thought that this pandemic was anything big, well, wait till the next pandemic, where it will be, a pandemic where your technology is not going to function, where there will be blackouts. Hospitals aren't going to function the way that they would, because they won't have the power to function, right? And he was talking about hospitals. He was talking about energy. He was talking about computer systems. Talking about blackouts. And right now, folks, I don't know if you all knew this, but over there in Cuba is actually going through a whole nationwide blackout right now, because they're not getting any gas, oil and gas delivered to them at the moment, right? So their whole country is gone dark. Next is Australia. Australia is very close to going dark, and they are out. They are almost out of food, and I believe they're out of gas already. You have the UK. The UK has about 2 days of reserves for gas left in their within the United Kingdom, and all of Europe is about to suffer greatly, because they don't have they don't have the natural gas for heating their homes. So there's a lot of things that are happening, and it's happening very quickly. And we're looking at a worldwide, lockdown again. The crazy thing is that President Trump was in office the first time that we had lockdowns. And now President Trump again is the president of the United States in the second lockdown. And so we are very close in America to a complete lockdown in the United States. And this one would be a little bit different, folks. And what do I mean exactly? This one would be a little bit different because there would be a shortage of a lot of things that we're used to, and there would be a shortage of gas for our cars. There'll be a shortage of gas for homes for heating. There would be a shortage of food. The supply chain would be broken. So there would be a shortage of deliveries of food and essential goods. So there'll be a shortage of a lot of things because think about it for a second, right? Diesel trucks have already stopped working across the nation. Many businesses have already shut down. You know, I saw this video of a company even in some Asian nation because their country's not getting any gas, and I forgot the name of it. It's got this real strange name, but because their country's not getting any gas, and it takes gas to run one of their machines, multi-million-dollar machines, and they make tiles. I do remember that they make tiles. Well, they had to, and they supply a lot of countries around the world with their tiles that they make out of their factory. Well, they had to shut down the entire factory. They make, I think, from what they said, over 200,000 tiles per day. And so they had to shut down their entire factory because they don't have any gas. And that the supply chain behind tiles is going to be broken. I don't know if y'all remember, but during COVID lockdowns, my wife and I were building a house, and the lumber, it doubled in price. In some cases, it tripled and quadrupled in price. And so when we were buying lumber, we paid a premium price for lumber. And folks, what I'm saying is you've got to, at this time, think about the next 6 months of your life. Are you prepared for what is coming? Do you have enough goods in your home? Do you have enough food in your home to last you 3 to 6 months? I don't think that's what, Timothy, I saw your comment. I don't think that that's what the problem is with Europe. I don't think it has to do much with the radical Islamists. This one has a lot to do with the war and the oil and gas, the plants that are being blown up in the Middle East. And of course, we had a plant here in the United States of America, a Valero plant, that was also blown up. I believe it was yesterday. And folks, it doesn't look too good at all. Does not look too good at all. So yes, some people are commenting about digital currency and also Agenda 2030 and New World Order. Yes, I believe that a lot of those things are in play right now. So I wanted to play another video for you guys. Check this out. Yeah, so that firestorm in Oklahoma just kind of came out of nowhere. And that whole place is on fire right now in Oklahoma. And the sad part is all the animals that are killed during that type of a storm. But I brought that up also because of the anomalies that are happening in the Middle East. We have, Dubai and Saudi Arabia has some rainstorms that just came out of nowhere. Some really great rainstorms, and the whole place is flooded, folks. This is the desert we're talking about. And the only thing that I could think of is that there is some type of a weather modification warfare that is taking place in that region. There is some type of a warfare with the weather modification in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. So it's pretty sad what's going on around the world, my friends. It is really, really, really sad. I don't know, man, but I know some Christians, they just can't see it. They can't they cannot not like war for some reason. You have some Christian conservative that they just love war and they think that this is the best thing. That yes, we're America and we're just going to go in there and we're just going to kill everybody, right? And they're just so happy about it. But I can't see how you could be so excited about that at all. I'm from another nation, and I know that there's other nations that just loves the United States of America. There's people all over the world that just loves and adores the United States of America and wish they can come and live here, right? And even when some of these people, they come and live here, and even though some of them do not change who they are, it doesn't mean that they don't like America or don't like the people of America. It just, some people come here when they're older and they'll never learn the language, but it doesn't mean that they don't love America. And, I've always known this too, that, people who come to America, it doesn't mean that they want to bomb the place either. It's people come here and they actually love it. And so as Americans, American Christians, we have to kind of start to think a little bit differently about how we view people around the world. Take a trip and go to another country somewhere. Be a little bit more traveled. When things kind of quiet down, go see other countries, see other nations, see how people live, see how people treat you. Because I guarantee you go to some of these countries, they will treat you like kings and queens. I'm not exaggerating. I've been to multiple different countries, and one of the places that I had a really good time was I got invited to preach in Nigeria, and I went to two different towns or cities in Nigeria. And they treated me like royalty, and they even gave me a name. They, gave me a Nigerian name. I've been to Curacao. I've been to Jamaica numerous times. I've been to other countries in Europe. I've been to Zurich, Switzerland. I've been to Stuttgart, Germany. So, folks, let me tell you something. You take, go travel somewhere. Get out of America. If you've never left America, go somewhere. Go to the Philippines. I'd love to go to the Philippines. I've never been to the Philippines, but I'd love to go to the Philippines. In fact, I got invited to go to the Philippines, and I'm going to go. But go to the Philippines. Go somewhere, far away, and get to see the world. I think you'll realize how different people are, and sometimes in a very good way. There are cultures that are very loving. I'm not saying travel now, Lisa. Lisa says I don't want to travel. I'm not saying today or tomorrow, or you probably might not be able to come back right now. But what I'm saying is that go to another country and check it out and feel it out, because you might just learn something from it, right? That there are very nice, loving people who are family oriented outside of the United States of America that could be very good people. And instead of thinking, oh yes, let's go bomb those people, let's go kill them all, let's send our military in there and wipe out this place, and you got Christians saying, let's nuke them all. Folks, this is not the mindset of a Christian. It's just not the mindset of a Christian. First of all, we're these wars that we're fighting. It's not you and I. It's not you and I going to fight other citizens of another nation. These are wealthy elites most of the time. These wars are started by wealthy people. It's wealthy people who start wars. They're the ones that do it. Okay, and governments. Many times, governments who are corrupt, they start wars. Right? You and I, we're not starting any war. We're not fighting anybody. Right? So there's no need to hate anybody. Because those same people that you think you hate, if you met them in person, you probably won't hate them. Okay, you met them on a normal day, probably won't hate them. So these things happen because of very bad people in governments, and that have crazy ideas. And some people, because they vote for a certain party, they don't care what that party does. They just like back them 100%. Well, if the president said, let's go to war, let's go to war. I'm for it. Yes, let's do this. I am not like that. Because if you have to show me a reason why you're going to war. Number one, what is your reason for going to war? If you say it's nukes, the other country has nukes, and they're not supposed to have it, fine. Do what you got to do. Okay, you did what you got to do. you blowed up their nukes. You said it was done. And then now you're like, okay, no, now we got to go back in there and bomb them again. For what? For what? You lost me there. All right, so here's what's going on. Iran warns the United States that citizens won't be safe, not even in their homes. So this is where we are right now. Citizens will not be safe, not even in their homes. Folks, this is why I've been preaching and teaching on Psalms 91, right? He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So we've got to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Now, this next post is what kind of got me, this morning. This morning I woke up and I got this post and it wasn't that I was totally surprised, but I was surprised that it was being reported. But then I wasn't surprised that it's not being reported on a mass scale. But I was surprised that it was even on a major, platform. And I know that it's hard for people to imagine what this next thing means exactly, but let me just throw it up here for you. Why don't I just do that? All right. So check this out. The Fortune. I think this is like it's a publishing. Used to be a magazine, I think, at one point or something like that. But I don't know exactly. But it's a big publisher. Fortune says the U.S. government is insolvent. It just blew my mind this morning that I woke up and this is what they were showing, that the U.S. government is insolvent. The Treasury Department consolidated financial statements for FY 25 and quietly released last week as Americans were distracted with the war, documents $47 trillion in total liabilities and only $6 trillion in total assets. The United States of America is bankrupt. No major media outlet had picked this story up and had released it. They hid it from the public. They decided that they were not going to tell us. And everything else that was happening was more important than for us knowing that our country is bankrupt. So, folks, this is why I'm telling you tonight that you have to make sure that you prepare for what is coming. You got to prepare for what is coming, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's going to happen very quickly. Lisa said, "I think the Epstein files are a distraction." I don't think so. The Epstein files are absolutely not a distraction. The Epstein files are they're trying to hide it. That's what they're trying to do. But it certainly isn't a distraction. What they're trying to do is make sure that people don't see it. That's what they're doing with the Epstein file. So, yeah. Because if you had a little clue as to how bad it was, you would know that they weren't. It's not about the Epstein files being a distraction. It's not good. It is absolutely not good at all. It's so bad that they would, if this thing was released in its fullness of the people, the names of the people, and exactly what they did, the evidence of them doing the things that they did, the videos that we have on these people, I'm telling you, this country would be destroyed in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. This whole entire nation would be destroyed completely. It would be burnt to the ground. That's how bad the files are. That's how bad the files are. All right. Okay. So, a couple more things. The Pentagon. Breaking news, the Pentagon prepares 3,000 troops for Army's elite 82nd Airborne for Iran war deployment. And so they're basically getting a lot more kids ready for war. Then they've got kids that are, going to do some ground troop work as well. And just not good, folks. Just not good. Not good at all. And then we have this situation where, I even hate to even bring this thing up, but okay, here's another. I'll let you know about this here first. Pentagon says that U.S. to deploy troops from 82 Airborne to Middle East for war. And then U.S. and Iran in negotiations right now to end war, says Trump. Then the next clip says the Strait of Hormuz closure has sent energy prices rising around the world. And then the next one says Trump declares victory and claims Iran offers a prize in talks, and Iran denies such negotiations have taken place. So here it is. President Trump had said earlier, even this morning, that he had talks with Iran, and Iran actually denied having any talks with President Trump. And I've been seeing a lot of this happen lately. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that lately, where you're hearing reports that, we have talked to Iran, and Iran is like, nope, we haven't. There hasn't been any calls. And you hear that the war is over, or the war is being, a ceasefire is being negotiated, and Iran's like, nope, no ceasefire, sorry. So, like I said at the beginning, folks, I was very adamant about saying that we should not have went into this war. I said that basically from day one, and a lot of people attacked me because they thought we were just going to go in and out in 2 seconds, not knowing that it was going to affect their lives. And the very same people who thought it was such a great idea and thought that they would, I had people bash me online, like really badly. And it's going to affect those people who bashed me. It's going to affect their lives. And they're not going to like it. So just because you support President Trump, like I did, it doesn't mean that if he murders somebody, like he said, if I could go out in the streets and I could just murder somebody and they will still just love me. That's what he said. Well, guess what? I told a whole bunch of people, in fact, that our troops went into Iran and on the first day of war bombed a school full of children and killed them, which was wrong. And you got Christian Americans, they thought that was a good thing, number one, or they said, oh no, we didn't do it, it was Iran. Or they said, they believed that, we would never do such a thing, or, Trump would never allow such a thing to happen. Well, come to find out that, yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? I still have people who send me messages saying that, oh, we didn't really bomb those kids. It was really Iran, or, this is just a part of the White Hats. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with White Hats. It has nothing to do with Iran bombing their own children. Our military bombed their children. Okay? It was wrong. When something is wrong, just admit that you're wrong. Well, guess what? After President Trump said that we didn't do it, while the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, remained quiet because he knew what happened and he didn't want to lie in public. After a few days, then President Trump finally admitted that yes, it was a mistake. We had the wrong information on the GPS position, and he said we had wrong data, and so yes, we did bomb them, but did not apologize for it. Okay, we just bombed them. So, folks, in times like these, you do not, and the reason why I'm repeating this, okay, in times like this, you do not want to have cognitive dissonance. I'm just telling you straight up. In times like this, you do not want to have cognitive dissonance. You do not want to be in a position where you believe lies. Okay? You don't want the devil to take over your mind and blind you from the truth in any way, shape, or form. Because you're going to need discernment. In the last days, you're going to need discernment. Okay? Because you don't know what's going to happen. Your cognitive dissonance will make you think that your next door neighbor, who is a nice guy or a nice woman, won't pull a gun out and shoot you because they don't have food in their house. Your cognitive dissonance will make you think that they won't harm you for their own family. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? Do you understand what I'm saying? Please tell me you understand what I'm saying. Do not allow cognitive dissonance to destroy your perception of reality. And some conspiracy theories aren't worth the paper that it's printed on. Okay? So be very vigilant, folks. Be very vigilant in this season. Be very vigilant in this season. Because the enemy, the Bible says, is like a raging lion, roaring lion, roaming around, seeking whom he may devour. And if you've got a mind that you just think that you're just so trusting of everything that's being put in front of you, it's like me telling you that, the country is insolvent and we're bankrupt as a nation. Like, oh no, we're not really bankrupt. It's not really insolvent. There's some kind of a conspiracy theory that, really what's happening is that we are actually very rich. No, that's not what is happening right now. The country has printed more money than it actually has, and that's why we have such high inflation. I went to my wife and we went to a store just the other day. What store was it? I think it was a Target, and she bought about 6 different items, no bigger than this, you know, whether it was a spray bottle with some type of a solution or whatever, and then some paper towel. Just like it was like literally, oh no, some not paper towel, but bottled waters. She bought about 6 packs of bottled waters, right, and about 5 or 6 items. Walked out of there $60. If you look at it, you're like, how in the world is that $60? Well, because inflation, everything is inflated in cost. You walk into Walmart and it's like you're walking out of there, spending $200, and you're like wondering how in the world did this little bit of stuff I have in my cart come up to $200? It's amazing. It's just mind blowing. But yeah, our country is bankrupt. Inflation has hit our nation. Now we got to deal with the issue of gas and the gas prices. My wife and I went out for a drive for a date last Friday. At 6:00 in the evening on a Friday evening, we were able to get from our house all the way to Dallas without traffic. That's insane, folks. That doesn't happen. That's not normal here. Why did we get there without traffic? It's because people can't afford gas in their cars. So a lot of people have just stayed home. I imagine that some people they have to wait until they get paid in order to put gas in their car. My opinion on metals is this. I encouraged people to buy metal because when the dollar fails, metal is going to be currency. It's going to be money. It's going to be worth something, right? And so if you wanted to do trade and you wanted to buy stuff, you can use metal to do it, because if the dollar just devalues altogether, it's not going to be worth much, right? But your metals would be. Your assets would be. Because metal stays like one price. The problem, the reason why metal went up in price is because the dollar was actually falling. That's really how it works. So metal is it kind of just stays like on on one level, really. But when the dollar devalues, it seems like the metal goes up. But you hold on to your metal because you don't know what's going to happen with the US dollar. And when the US dollar revalues, then you would really understand that metal really stays on one, straight length. But what it's good for right now is if the dollar devalues and you need to buy stuff, I believe people will, companies will accept your silver or gold. In places like Florida and Texas, it's the law. It's currency. It's currency here in Texas. It's currency in Florida. And in other states as well, it's considered currency. So yes, gold and silver are great investments, Timothy. All right. Here's another thing, and then I'll get going. This gentleman here claims that Israel is secretly evacuating beneath the Al Aqsa Mosque to stage a demolition and blame an Iranian missile aiming to spark a major Islamic war. So, the Muslim Dome of the Rock that Israel has been wanting for decades. They've been wanting to just remove the Dome of the Rock and remove that mosque on the Dome of the Rock to put in a temple, which would be the third, temple of Solomon. And so they're basically would do anything right now. I'm actually surprised that they didn't blow it up already, to be honest. But not even Iran has blown that up because Iran knows that that's something that they want. Iran already knows that that's something that they want to see happen. But if that happens, folks, that is going to be a huge war in the Middle East. That would mean complete total annihilation of the country of Israel. That's what that means. So these folks, I mean, they better be careful with whatever it is that they think they're doing over there. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, folks, I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight tonight as to what's really going on, and but I really want to see everybody on here really thrive in this season because the enemy really is out to destroy in this season like never before. He's really out to get people. So, but let's see here. All right, let's do Psalms 91 and get going. All right, just say this out loud with me. Say, I dwell in the secret place of the Most High and rest under the shadow of the Almighty. I say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save me from the fowler's snare and from the noisome... Wait a minute, hang on. Surely He will save me from the fowler's snare and from the noise or deadly pestilence. He will cover me and my family with His feathers, and under His wings we will find refuge. His faithfulness will be our shield and rampart. I will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand, but it will not come near me or my family. I will only observe with my eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge, and I make the Most High my dwelling, no harm will overtake us. No disaster will come near our homes. For He will command His angels concerning us to guard us in all our ways. They will lift us up in their hands so that we will not strike our foot against a stone. I will tread on the lion and the cobra. I will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because you love me, says the Lord, I will rescue you. I will protect you, for you acknowledge my name. You will call on me, and I will answer you. I will be with you in trouble. I will deliver you and honor you, and with long life would I satisfy you and show you my salvation, says the Lord. Amen and amen. All right, folks, listen, I love you all with the love of God. Y'all have a wonderful... Oh, by the way, if you'd like to sow into this ministry tonight, you can do so by going to our website. Our website is etribe.org. It's listed right here on the screen, etribe.org/give, or you can just text the word give to 844-583-7012. Grab a hold of a seed tonight. Oh, thank you so much, KT. Appreciate that. Grab a hold of a seed tonight. Nice dog. Grab a hold of a seed tonight, and whether it's a $37 seed, a $50 seed, $100 seed, $1,000 seed. Some of you are due for $1,000 seed. Especially in this season. So grab a hold of a seed and sow it into the kingdom of God tonight through Essential Church. You could send your seed by check as well. If you go to our website, we'll have all of that information on our webpage. All right. Love you guys with the love of God. Have a wonderful night and stay perpetually blessed. Bye for now.